After two thrilling individual races the day before, Edmonton in Canada staged the third and final mixed team relay of the season. 22 nations took their chance, including the United States and Australia. Australia always formidable. They'd come second in Hamburg just a couple of weeks earlier. The USA had won in Nottingham in the first relay event of the season. Into the water then, just a 300-metre swim in Horlock Lake, and no real surprise that Great Britain's Jessica Learmonth was front and centre. She came out the water just a couple of seconds ahead of Taylor Spivey of the United States, and a little group of 4 or 5 not far behind. Great Britain also with a strong tradition in triathlon relay racing. And it was Learmonth and Spivey who had themselves about a quarter of a minute advantage on the bike leg. 6.6 kilometres the distance, and those two were out first on the run. Just over a mile, they nearly took the wrong route. Fortunately, a marshal was there to save the day, but you can see that the chasing pack weren't too far behind. Spivey, who likes racing in Edmonton, she got an individual medal 12 months ago. So they tagged their second team member, and this looked like being a really exciting leg. The likes of Johnny Brownlee and Vincent Lewis of France, the two big names chasing. Also right there, Aaron Royal of Australia. The Belgians having a great race too. Louis, who had helped France win the mixed team relay world championship in Hamburg just 2 weeks earlier, and it was he and Johnny Brownlee who managed to get themselves a bit of an advantage. And the handover from Brownlee to Georgia Taylor-Brown, and from Lewis to Mathilde Gauthier. They were pretty much together in the swim, although that would all change on the bike leg when Taylor-Brown, on the podium 24 hours earlier in the individual race, decided to go solo. A pretty good tactic. She had a handy lead to hand over to young Christopher Perham. A couple of fourth places in 2 World Cup races in Tiszaújváros in Hungary, but Birtwistle wasn't far behind. Even a 30-second deficit out the water, unlikely to be significant. Perham very inexperienced, and he was caught, despite that 30-second lead, after 1 lap of the 2-lap bike course, and the imposing figure of Birtwistle starting to take charge. Wild of New Zealand also prominent, the Kiwis with a very young team and certainly overperforming. Vienne of France, Koenigs was in their original team, but he was unavailable, and Birtwistle seized his opportunity 400 metres from home and showed the rest a clean pair of heels. A brilliant sprint a day earlier to get on the podium in the individual race, and he anchored the Aussies home for gold. Matt McElroy bringing the States home in second place, and a superb bronze for New Zealand, an unexpected one. Hayden Wild, the youngster, crossing the line in third position. I was so used to seeing Australia on the podium. Brilliant performance from the Aussies. It is a settled team. Gentle, Royal, Vancouver and Birtwistle. And they were way too good on the day for any of the other nations.
And what was up with you, Jake? No come from behind sprint finish. From the front this time.
Yeah, who would have thought, eh? Yeah, it's definitely nice to, thanks to these guys, to be up there in the mix right from the get-go for that 4th leg. So, yeah, I was able to, pretty well right from the swim, we were able to get out with a bunch, and from there we were racing for the win, and that was that. So, yeah, I knew if it came down to a run, I was pretty confident I'd have the legs, and thankfully felt pretty good.
A lot of countries still experimenting ahead of the Olympics in 2020, where relay will make its debut, but the Aussies surely won't be far away in Japan.